can put your egg inside someone else and say, hey, hold this for 9 months, and when that's up, please to return it.
I think
That's
it's
all I'm
borderline
asking for.
selfish.
Kids.
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 Should I say pick me, you know? Alright, so good night everybody. What's up, Wagwan? Bonjour. I know what else to say. Not any other language, so they speak anything else, hush.
Yo.
So welcome back to another episode of the CrSquared podcast. Everybody, you know, clap, snap, take your time, do whatever you need to do. It is I, Casper, one of your hosts for this week. And we'll have another interesting and exciting episode. Don't interrupt me, please. This is my time. I like to do it how I want to do it.
Do as you please.
So anyways, you have it time. You have it time, relax. Anyways, so take it away, Robin.
But you're done already? What do you mean?
It is now your time.
That was so abrupt.
You interrupt me so no me run dry. That's what it caused.
Poor thing. Well, good
And
night,
the bane
guys.
of my existence.
And the what? The bane of... Oh, that's too bad. Well, anyways. Good night, guys. My name is Robin, one of your hosts for the CrSquared podcast. One of 3, or potentially one of 4 now. So, I'll pass the mic to the next
Yeah,
person.
man. Ronaldo come as a package now.
Package deal.
Yo, CrSquared gang. Can I say gang as a Christian? But anyways, CrSquared team.
You tell me.
CrSquared team, welcome back to the CrSquared podcast. This is your host. This is one of your hosts, Ronaldo. I'm been thinking of a catchphrase. If you've been following us, you might have heard it before. We're here to entertain, have fun, and have good conversation. I'm bringing that back. I was listening to some of the previous episodes, and I'm like, yo, why did I drop this? So, bringing it back. So when you guys hear that, you can think of Ronaldo. But yeah, so I'm about to pass it over to my counterpart.
Wow.
A special guest
Whoa.
host that we have here. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Portia. Ready to hear good conversation. And that's pretty much it.
Alright.
Pretty much it. Short and
Badness.
sweet.
But Ronaldo, that's
Banga, banga, banga.
that's not even like a catchphrase. That's like one whole sentence.
That's a whole novel, bro.
Exactly.
Okay.
Whoa, alright. Moving on. Anyways.
The strength
Very
that came
subtle.
off. The strength that
And that may I
exceeded
say,
that, okay.
very strong. But do your thing, boss, man. But anyways, people, so for this week, if you've been living under a rock, you might not have been hearing this from many young persons, because pretty much we're the only persons that talk about it right now. But there has been more and more conversation over the past couple of months, over the past couple of years, about young people, or people in general, human beings, not wanting to make those babies anymore. People just get up one day and be like, yo, this is not for me, get rid of these kids. If these kids, we ain't doing this, move it along. So I think that there's basically 2 sides to the story, and some people are really bashing one side, and other persons being like, leave me alone, this is just my choice, and they have a lot of good reasons. Some people are just saying that regardless of these reasons, have the kids, push them out, do anything you're supposed to do, but the kids must be here. So so that's pretty much what the conversation is going to be about tonight. Should or shouldn't you have kids? Can not having kids be justified, or should it be justified? Should people be allowed to not have kids, run boat and do them thing until they run dry and leave this earth? So yeah.
Alright, so I remember I was watching a movie with Porsche, right? And with Portia, let me call it Portia for the sake of the listeners.
Well, we never did understand Porsche. We never did understand Porsche.
I was watching a movie with Portia, and I don't remember, it's Ruby Bridget or something like that. I think that was the name of the movie. And then what happened was, in that movie, there was like this black girl who was going to an all-white school, and as a racial slur, they were calling this black girl Pickaninny, right? And apparently that was a racial slur back in the days. I know, with African American, we were slaves, and in Jamaica.
Whoa.
Yeah,
You just said we.
I mean,
You said
black people.
You said African American,
Yes.
and then you said we.
I mean, we
As
were.
if.
In our past lives, we were.
Black people were
Alright.
enslaved.
Alright.
Black people were enslaved, and a lot of the language that some of these countries have, like for Jamaica, I know that we kind of took the language that they had and we kind of morphed it, right, into our type of language, and they call that Creole, right? So my theory, because I didn't research it, because I'm not big on research, but my theory is it was the racial slur Pickaninny right? That we know refers as picnic.
Picnic. Alright, cool. And we know associated with children. In terms of
But
so-called picnic.
black children in specific.
Black children, exactly. So when I was watching the show, that was the click that happened. I'm like, they're calling this girl picnic, and we call our kids picnic. But yeah,
Alright,
so
cool.
this episode is going to be about the kids.
Yeah.
Or the picnic.
No, but-
picnic.
Yeah, no, but we
picking
can understand that. But I understand like the correlation of how it might actually tie in. I think like some of the gaps there because even though that was a thing back then, there in the US, the internet's never developed. So chances are that the slur did actually come from there, or maybe it originated possibly in England and then stemmed here, and then from there so we actually merge it or create it. But yeah, as long as you're a child, booming in Jamaica, whether you're black, white, yellow, orange, pink, blue, yeah, picnic.
Blue
Oh,
children.
moving on. Man, you just have to crop my style all the time.
Well, I watch. Anyways, go ahead. I apologize.
Alright, so as me that say people, pretty much the basis of the conversation obviously where we are going with that. So my outtake on the situation is that I understand say it is a concern with mostly I'm sorry. I don't want to give a statistic as if we do a whole heap of research, it's just observation, but majority of the time it is women who may hear are young females that say, I don't want kids, or I don't want a lot of kids, or I only want one child, boom, that's it. So oh my gosh, what is going on tonight? Anyways, so we'll just see that, right? We'll just want to make sure I don't want me alone. We'll just make sure. But anyways, so
Internet
all of this
to be
chaos I can't lose my train of thought. But pretty much, yeah, so I hear all the young girls I see it nowadays in terms of not wanting to have kids. So my opinion is that, maybe I'm afraid of pain. Well, I lie, sorry, not just pain. We feel like we say that, we feel like trouble. Like my female friend, them both that all the time. We say, I'm afraid of pain and all of that, for trusting the womb, believing on the womb. No matter what tell them about the womb. But I think it is more so them seeing in them environment all the time when it comes on to the man as hero in a relationship, and I help to contribute towards, helping out with raising this child. I feel like a whole heap of young girls see that and think say, I just someone stay, and I just always stay that way there, and I can't deal with all the stress and pressure there. So I might as well just about have none and just go live my life and be free and all of that. But on the other hand, too, when it comes on to me hear few, not a lot. Because when it comes down to my virgin them in Jamaica, everybody ever say, I have my youth them 10 penny and I don't have the one of them right now. So in terms of that, I would say we feel like people just have the wrong idea of having children. But I always make it so now, like on a lecture, we feel like people have the wrong idea because children is more so of a symbol or a status of achievement or success, rather than, you just meet somebody who wanna have a good connection, have sex and decide to have sex and join a union. And from a union and have a child and this family life experience together wanna help raise this child to be whoever them wants to be. So I have a sister or a female friend out here that was with a guy, got pregnant and had a miscarriage. He's now in another relationship where he now has a child. He's 24.
Wait,
I'm not sure.
So do you know if he left her because she can't bear him children anymore? Or
no, I think the situation is that I want a child now, and you aren't willing to have a child now with me. First of all, when I done school, when I have a house, when I have a car, when I have no land, when I have nothing right about now that would help contribute to raising a child. And for him, case was just that I want a child now. If I can't do it, you're gonna get a child elsewhere. And so said, so done. Leave her, and he now has a child. So,
hey.
Korea.
Wow.
But somebody asked me the other day, if it is that, what might take on having kids. I say, when we did in high school, even up till now, I always tell people, I have around 7, 8, 9, 10 people. The more the merrier. Because the idea of having the more the merrier.
The more the merrier.
And every time I say that, everybody always have the same question. So you really want one woman to push out 7 people? I'm like, it's not impossible. We make it sound as if this is something that is unheard of. This does happen. If it is that you as a woman don't want to have 7 children, then that is fine. That is a conversation for me and you have. Ronaldo, what's true?
Yeah.
Wait, I put something on or something?
No, I didn't. Well, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. I didn't put it on, but I'm gonna take it. My take on it is there's 2 ways. I'm gonna say 2, but there's a lot. There's 2 ways how I've encountered this kids conversation. There's one where people, some people decide that, all right, I want to have kids, and it's gonna be when I'm at this age, when I have this, when I have that, when I meet this person, that's when I'm gonna have kids. That's when I'm gonna start. And then like I have to have this amount of money, I have to have this amount of success before I start having kids. And then you have the people who are like, if it happens, it happens. And then you have the people who are like, I don't want any kids because I want to enjoy my life. So I did say two, but now it's three. I can't count. I just did not remember.
All right, congratulations. Clap it up, clap it up.
So all right. So for the first set of people who is going after success first, before they have kids, that's fine. I think that's a good idea because you don't
I
want.
mean, that's a
kids to come
smart
into
idea
your
if you
life.
ask me.
What is it, Robin?
It's a smartest idea if you ask me.
Yeah, that I
Me
think
too,
that's the
I
best way
agree.
to go about it. Because you don't want the kids to come in your life and then become a bird, or become a struggle. Cause I don't know if anyone enjoys struggling. You know.
Who
like-
enjoys struggle?
I disagree.
Look at that.
All right.
Portia out here.
Yeah. All right. So Portia, go ahead.
Disagree.
You disagree? Okay. Let me hear your
No,
thoughts.
Portia just out here as she like the struggle.
I'm talking about I disagree with waiting for success.
So you think you should
And
just
so you have
children
kids.
before?
No, this is what I think. Oh wait, hold on. What? In work you said?
No, I'm saying if you think you should have children before you have success.
Well, I think it depends on what you consider like success and like what you want to do with your career, because like if you want to be a doctor, you're not having kids till 45. Like, and I just feel like that's just
that's
too
fine.
That's
late.
fine.
I don't. That is not possible.
I'd 18 to
What?
45.
Alright, that is very dangerous to have kids that late.
You're gonna be
Says who?
old.
Women-
You're supposed
What's
to
your
have
name?
kids.
What's your name in the Bible? Where
Says
have I?
by-
Oh
No,
my
no,
god!
Not going to go down that road because
Wait.
still 500 years old, 700 years old. So we're not going to go down that road, right? If someone is
Okay.
100 in this society or this era, it's a miracle. So we're not going to go down that road. Alright?
No, but we're
Here's
not
the
talking
thing,
about
though.
100. We're talking about 45. Continue, Portia.
That's still pretty old.
The thing is, like, it's more strenuous on your body to have kids that late. Like, you'll
Exactly.
probably like miscarry, or you don't bounce back like you do when you're younger.
All right. Now, all of that, I completely understand. Just want to tie in that into I just want to tie in that to a Portia did originally I said, in terms of what you deem as success. Now, I understand what everybody has said, and usually when persons approach the conversation from the side, they say, oh, it's better for be successful and then have kids. I always think about like what people consider as success, and is success really needed in order to raise a child? And people always go to the side of financial success, which is fine. In today's society, in order to live, you have to work, and you have to make a decent amount of money where you can take care of yourself, not to mention to take care of another human being.
Exactly.
But people always seem to forget that making sure that somebody has clothes, making sure somebody has food to eat, making sure somebody has a place to live is needed. But what about teaching somebody about how to handle the non-monetary aspects of life? I feel like in order to teach a child how to take care of themselves on an emotional and a mental level, and how to handle themselves in the real world, you have to live some sort of life in order to do that. I feel like a lot of people want to. If it is that you have a child young unintentionally, then that is fine. You learn as you go along, you try to get as much advice as you can from older people from around you. But when you want to have a child in your early 20s, on the basis that you are now financially ready to have a child, I'm saying, yeah, you're financially ready, but you're emotionally ready to teach a child how to handle what it is going to be like when they get into a situation where they don't get the dream job that they want. They have to go out into the world and face working somewhere that they don't necessarily want to work to get to where
Oh,
they
that
want
that
to
was
be.
a leap though, Casper. Like
You don't have.
I was
No, it's just a
blind-
little
I was
example.
blind shit with you, bro.
No, it's just a
Right
no.
here,
It
and
was
then-
just an example
and
of
then
an
they just
emotional
took a leap.
situation that you can face.
But,
It's an
alright.
emotional situation that you can face. If it is
No,
that you go
but
through life and you face all this.
alright. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's just an example, but in that example, I'm like, alright. So if I have a kid tomorrow, right? 9
Yeah.
months tomorrow, right? We are use a math day. Me at 22, right? I don't really know everything, but
You're at 22?
by
Yeah.
by that
What?
child become 18, for the try get a job. Wait, 16. Let's say 16, cause at them time let me start work. So 16 for try get a job. That's a 16 more years add to my life and experience. So hopefully by that 16 more years, me as I have a little bit more experience, we can walk them through that situation. So I don't want to say just an example, but that one was just a leap. For me, like
So you are saying that. So you are saying that it is okay to have a child young, wanting to have a child young, and everything that you need to know in order to help a child at the stage that they're at. You can acquire that information while actually
as they go along. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly.
Yeah, because
all right.
I don't think you're going to
all right, continue, Robin.
I don't think you're going to learn everything you need to raise a child before having a child.
Having a child, yeah.
That's possible.
All right. So here
on the job
training.
Right now, being a parent is on the job training.
Exactly. And
I think that it can be on the job.
Or what works is one child or two child or your grandma child or your brother child might not work for yours.
All right, hold on. So here's how I want to put it. Now, in my personal situation, I work 7 days a week. I'm sorry, I work 5 days a week.
I'm saying,
and I work 9 hours a day, and I make a specific amount of money. The money that I currently make, I contribute to food and bills and some amount of insurance and savings. Now, that is fine. In addition to that, I wouldn't say I'm perfect at budgeting. I wouldn't say I have it down packed when it comes on to everything, when it comes on to my insurance policy, even something as simple as reading a light bill. I wouldn't say I have all of that down packed. And I think that learning all of these things takes time. It would be very stressful to actually learn that right now. Plus, to take care of a child. Now, I'm just saying, when it comes on to taking care of yourself, certain things they don't learn in high school, and you have to learn them as you go along. I wouldn't want to put myself in a situation where I now have to learn that. So we'll learn that while having to take care of a child, because that seems like a lot of stress to me. Yeah. That is not a lot of stress that I want to put into. That is not stress that I want to have in my life. In addition to that, there are a lot of emotional aspects, excluding the financial aspects. There are a lot of emotional things that I haven't actually started out right now, because I can tell you, it comes on to my personal life. Every time my mother hears me and have a conversation about religion, she always say, "Well, I was talk about religion, but the concept of governing your life, or some superior being governing your life so you can live a certain way, it's very important to everybody, whether you believe in a supreme being or you don't believe in a supreme being. There is something to govern your life to keep you emotionally and mentally stable. And I don't think that I am perfect at that right now for have a child to teach them all of that. And I don't think that that is something that I would be able to learn while raising a child right about now.
Yeah, alright. I definitely get the swing. Because, you know, a lot of people, I've heard of families who, you know, have taken turns due to that same issue. You know, like the mother find religion, and then everything at the house change, right? For sure, like, you know. While having children, you know, and then you have these drastic changes where everybody like has to take because your life finds something new. So yeah, but the thing, and you know, that might have adverse effects on the kid. So yeah, I get what you're saying, but again, you know, Robin and I still share the opinion of you're not gonna be perfect before you have a kid. You won't, right? Securing the financial aspect, Portia, is your hand up or?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm just gonna finish this sentence. Securing the financial aspect first is a good move, by any measure, and then you know you can think about everything else. All right, Portia, over to you.
But it just depends on who you are, because I feel like it's certain basic principles that you can have that no matter like what happens, it'll be okay.
All right. That's all right. So you think that depending on who you are, no matter what the situation presents, you will be okay.
Yes.
But all right. So depending on who you are, what if you are not the type of person? All right. What if you are the type of person that would create a situation that is not okay? Because ultimately, you have a lot of persons who do have kids who do turn out to be not so upstanding members of society and help to tear it down. And help to tear it down in a way. So I think that a lot of people will always say, no, you can't blame everything on parents. But even though you cannot blame everything on parents, there's a lot to blame there.
But I'm not
What
feel
comes
like
on-
that fair to blame the child for that. It's remember children are brought in this world as like sponges. So they
That
soak
is
up
my
everything.
point, Robin.
So you
People
can't
always
blame the
want
kid for
to blame. All right, people will blame an adult, but an adult or who you are in your adult life is a product of what
your
you would have
environment as a
experienced in your environment from childhood. If you experience something there, then chances are this is what is contributing to how you're behaving right now. And when you come into this world, as they say, you know, you have one blank slate. You're basically trying to you're a blank slate, and persons are basically teaching you how to operate. Maybe if it is that you didn't get taught the right thing, then you go out into the world and you can't be all to blame. You can't.
Yeah.
A lot of it can be blamed by you, but not everything. Everybody have a part to play in the end result, I think.
That's true.
But also in regards to Portia, I say about waiting till later on in life and then having a child. Then I feel like technology is so advanced right now. If it is that you don't want a child to drop out your womb, there are so many other ways you can go get a surrogate.
Yeah.
If it
Oh
is that you
my
want.
gosh.
And there is nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you can adopt a child, you can put your egg inside someone else and say, hey, hold this for 9 months, and when that's up, please to return it.
I think it's
That's all I'm
borderline
asking.
selfish.
Yeah.
It's borderline.
borderline what?
It's borderline selfish.
To not carry the child yourself?
Not to not carry the child yourself, but you want to wait like until you're 20 years into your career. Like,
No, I
so
feel like at that time.
what are you doing all that for?
Sure.
Like,
No, the thing
Just
is that
I
I
mean,
feel like
I
at
feel
that
like
point in
20
time, like a
years is like really
seasoned
extreme.
into life right now, you're being alright. If it is that, alright, if I go to a doctor's office
But,
and you say to me
Jasper, I
that
think
you're
that's kind of
graduating,
dangerous, you know.
Go
Like,
on,
lots
for
of
we?
people get seasoned into life or seasoned into them career and feel like, all right, no, I can add a child to this. But because they've been doing same thing for 20 years, when they do have a child now, it's chaos.
Just mash up everything.
no, they're not
But
going to
I
ever
mean,
have
could be
one.
But
like
having
a
a child is
system where,
chaotic for anybody at any age, because once you have a child, your life instantly
Yeah,
changes.
but
Whether
when you
it
don't
don't-
have like a mindset or a habitual routine, they're more flexible to deal with the
I
things
guess-
that will pop up with a child.
Yeah, I guess
No,
I
but I'm
understand what you're
saying-
saying. Because you're
No,
more
but
stuck
I'm
in a, like
saying-
one routine, so like when
Exactly.
someone just come and mash it up, you know, it like
Yeah, but
really
you would have
impactful.
put things in place for this. You didn't. I know it's not a case where you've enjoyed the success and one day you say, "All right, boom, I didn't want kids before, but I'm so lonely right now. I'm going to have a child." It has always been the case that I want to have children, but I'm going to wait this amount of time or wait till I get this, and then I'm going to have a child. I feel like that basically preparation. Once it is that you reach, you can manage all other chaos that, or you basically expect the chaos and you try to mitigate it. But I think that persons get them success and then have a child, and then after the chaos, them say, "Yo, this is not for me. Never
And
give
just
this
give
child
back the
up for
child."
adoption."
Yo, and
then
I'm
we
telling
hate
you,
kids.
that might happen. That might happen.
All right,
You
but that
say,
might happen
"Alright,"
at any age.
you might
And
say,
furthermore, I
"Alright,
think that
I
must
am ready for
happen
this.
when you have a child young.
I am seasoned, like I have all the preparations, I've read all the books, I've talked to all the folks." And then you got the child, and the first 5 years is bliss. Because you take your Instagram photos, you post, you put it in the card.
Oh, what is the
That's
child
why we
crap?
have kids. So
And
post
then-
on
What could have
Instagram.
caused this?
7 years old. The kid broke something where like you like say you get a Pulitzer prize for your writing, and the Pitney box it off for the whatnot.
But I feel like
Oh.
I feel like if it is that you,
and then
but
other little things start pile up. Like you can't sit down and drink tea like you usually sit down and drink tea. You can't call your friend and talk to them about the news like you used to, because now you have to watch this child. And then all of that will bubble up and
Wow,
say, "Oh,
that
for
sound
20
like
good years, me I live
resentment,
my
man.
life,
but
I'm
I'm
happy.
saying
I know
no, but me I say no, Ronaldo. Me I say.
This sounds
Just
like
as
a
how
lot of
you can sit down like this and casually tell me all of this right now, why you think that somebody who want to have kids but wait, why you think they wouldn't know all of this
No, but
and
because
ready
of
for
the
that change
weight.
there?
I say because of the weight, you can get comfortable. But if it is a case where you do it early and you have your kids, you start having your kids early, you can get through that phase. Like there's no comfort level there. Like you might have a job,
So,
but you know that
wait.
you're doing this to take care of this child. You're building your life. You're building a life or building a career in a way that a child is a part of it, versus trying to adjust what you already created to fit a child into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's smarter. I agree with
I
that.
understand what you're saying. But I
Alright,
think like,
alright.
but I feel like you're being like really extreme. Cause like waiting like 20 years, we're like in this full on routine. Like, yeah, the whole purpose of getting a job is to ensure that you're financially stable, so you can have a kid. So I feel
Yeah,
And
like
that
it's not
just
to get
goes back
comfortable. It's
to
not to
yeah,
get comfortable with the life that you are living. It is basically
exactly. Yeah,
participating in that life to achieve a different life, which would include a child. So
exactly.
it is not getting trapped. You're constantly aware that I am doing this, but this is not what I truly want to be doing. So you're
Yeah,
not truly comfortable with where you're at. And as I say, this must be the case for people who want to have children. If it is that they just casually that go out to business all this time, you like what you're doing, and you meet a man or you meet a woman, and you guys decide to have children, and then you realize it is not it basically change your life in a way that you don't like, then we can understand what you're saying. But if it is that this is something that you really want, then we can't understand you achieving that level of discomfort, because you already expressed that the life that you're living right now is not what you truly want to be a part of. You want a life that has children in it.
Yeah.
You want to reach a stage that can accommodate all of the 10 kids that you want to have.
10 kids. But me have a question too.
10.
Once you brought the topic up, forgive me, Robin. Alright, so I have a question is, why do you think, like the question is, why do you think most people, alright, no. Fix the question. What would be a good reason not to have kids right now? Like, what would be a good reason to not want to have
If
kids?
they
because
are
he can't read the right
expensive-
light bill.
They can't do what? We'll make
Yeah,
it
right,
interesting,
yeah,
honestly. Yes, right? I'm saying.
Yeah, if you can't read a light bill, don't have kids.
I'm
It's
saying,
just
why,
like
why,
that.
why do I have you? You can't read a light bill.
I would say that when we did younger, we used to always hear people say, no, I think I've heard it 2 times, where somebody has said, I don't want to bring a child into this world, and the older I get, I say, all right, cool. I understand it to some extent. Now, you see, if it is that me did live somewhere, or me did born somewhere like possibly a Switzerland or somewhere in Europe, maybe. But it is very tedious. Well, not tedious. Tedious is another word we want to bring. Tedious is another word we want to use. Living in Jamaica right now and not wanting to have a child, you can understand that. Now, people might pitch it all the time, especially when they watch international TV and say, oh, I have the best beaches and the best hotels and all of that. I'm saying that is a portion of the island if you have it like that. And I don't have it like that. I live here,
I don't
and you are at risk of experiencing certain things, such as possibly getting hurt or even more extreme cases. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just don't want to see if I don't like.
I
So,
don't know.
I don't know
is
what.
that-
I don't know why you're talking
I
about.
think you should
But
just-
I don't understand.
Pretty much the place not safe. The place not
You
safe.
talk cryptic.
And-
What is this?
The place not safe, and that's my biggest concern. I know people talk about a whole heap of different things, but when it comes on to safety, when it comes on to somebody's livelihood in terms of access to food and water and shelter and all that, I think it is very hard to get that for even yourself, much less to get it and secure it for somebody else. So when somebody will say, all right, based on how the place are run right about now, I think that people are move a certain type of way, the place are run a certain type of way. In order to maneuver through this right about now, I don't think that I can manage teaching somebody how to maneuver through this, because I can't even do it for myself. And the time it is going to take for me to learn to maneuver through all of this and secure myself and all of that, it probably will be too late to have a child. So somebody has explained that to me once before. I'm saying, all right, I understand it.
So basically, you're saying the societal situation, like the state
does not
of the society,
the societal situation
isn't ideal for you to bring a child into the world at this point.
that is correct. I mean, just to give an example to tie it in or to get person to understand. Let's say for instance, I could talk to snakes. There's a snake who lives in the hot desert that said to me like, bro, desert hot, no water there half the time. I have to fight to find food. For burrow inside the sun, still hot half the time. I think I would be doing a good thing by carrying a child to endure all of this. So right about now, I'm going to tough it out and make it the best that I can make it, and then move on from there. So I think that a lot of persons don't want to have a child because of the state of society. They think that they're participating in the greater good by not allowing anybody to suffer the same amount of burdens or stress that they're experiencing.
Alright.
Continue, go through portion.
Okay, but that's like saying a polar bear in Antarctica don't want to bring in a cub because it's too cold, but they got fur, so they're built for that type of environment. The same way.
Snakes are literally cold-blooded. They thrive in warm environments.
No, but I think, all right, hold on.
The same way that
Yeah,
snake
so
can survive in the desert, because certain things are different from a snake that lives in the desert versus one that lives in the jungle.
all right, cool. So I can understand where Portia coming from in terms of that because that is something that I have acknowledged. Now, a bear is built or is created in a way to survive that type of environment. I think when it comes down to human beings, the type of environment that we currently live in isn't the environment that was actually made for us by, any grand,
Just say God, man. You know
supreme
you want to say
being.
God.
Survival of the
You know it.
fittest.
You know say God knows everything.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So no, yeah. So cousin everybody call that figure God. So let's just use the word God. So
Why
in
you
terms of
made
the
the
environment that
podcast
human
religious,
beings live in.
Adam? Jesus, man.
Anyways, sure. So yeah, so I feel like the environment that we currently live in, I know the environment that was created by God. So basically I have to try to survive in it, and it is really hard to survive in it just on the basis that everybody is not on the same page. You have a lot of countries where it seems as if like every single person is just on the same page, and I believe right now everybody is just not on the same page. So it's almost as if you bring somebody into a very chaotic situation. Like they're in a relationship right about and all you do, come take it to a smaller scale. You're in a relationship with somebody right about all you do is fight, all you do is cuss. You cuss about every single thing, you physically attack each other, you can't get along, but for whatever reason you're not leaving, you're not leaving each other, just there. And to bring a child, yes, so to bring a child into that situation isn't fair to that child. So I think a lot of persons view that on a much larger scale when it comes on to living in a country. Their country might be chaotic and they might say, all right, cool, I don't want to bring a child. Or the world itself might be chaotic and I don't want to bring a child here. It's just me, I play my little part, and when I'm gone, that's it.
All right.
So the generation dies?
First of all, I'm not really concerned. All right, I'm gonna make Robin talk. But when it comes on to the whole generation
I was gonna ask
thing,
you say you make Robin talk, I gotta talk. Right?
Yeah, make Robin talk, and then we get back to that.
But I was gonna ask you the same question. Obviously, I can't give the same answer with Casper give. Robin.
Well, that is my decision if I want to give the same answer. But go ahead with the question.
Wow,
it's the same question. If you do remember the question, me I go move on. I'm too much.
We can't help my short-term memory. Jesus.
Alright. Portia, remember the question that I asked that one?
Basically, can people justify why they should have children?
I get attacked.
Basically, name one reason why you believe people would not want to bring children into this world.
Oh yeah, me did say like because children are expensive.
Yes, that's what you say. No, just do some elaboration on that.
When we say expensive, I mean like expensive to take care of. Like that's what I'm always advocate for. Like if you're going to have a child or if you intend to have a child, I feel like it's the best option or the best thing for you to do is ensure that you are financially stable to support that child. Even though you and Casper always saying that money is one part of dealing with a child or raising a child. Like what other part? Like you need to ensure that if you take care of the child or help the child take care of themselves. But I feel like that will come over time. That's why I always say you always hear them parents or mothers always say this. Like the first child, them always paired with the child and they know exactly how to deal with them, and then when them reach them third pitney them literally fling the pitney upon the ground because the pitney I got alright. Make him growing up on the make him growing up on in the dirt because I know him I got alright. So
you ever see the Huggies commercial? It's a first child, first baby. It's a second child.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
for real. I mean, just for added to what Robin said, because the commercial always so funny to me. Like, the first child she had, like, she'll go to the park and she'll carry every single thing with the everything. She'll carry the most unnecessary thing. And then like the second child that she had, she just have a babysitter. She just throw the baby upon the ground and say like, "You ever want to put a nose ring there because this baby cool." So I'm saying we can get with us in terms of the more you have, I guess, you get more experience. You know exactly what to do.
Over time, you just gotta know what to do. But money, you want to ensure that you have that cost. If you don't have any money, you can't take care of the pitney. Can't buy enough for the pitney. You have to get the pitney.
Well, maybe I agree with you in terms that it costs money to take care of a child, which is fine.
It doesn't cost money, Casper. It costs a lot of money.
No, but that's not what me I get to. There is the possibility that it don't cost a lot of money. It's just that people invest too much money in a child, money that is not needed. You sometimes see some people. I think that social media play a very vital part in that.
That's true.
Because you go on Instagram, you see all them people here post them babies and them have these baby photo shoots. So no, you are not budgeting for a baby photo shoot and then classifying that as a sort of expense where they don't need. It is so unnecessary. You probably are first of all, but I don't know if you know Wayne Marshall and his wife Tammy Chin. First of all, Wayne Marshall and Tammy Chin kids really even wear clothes. After time you see them are running around in them brief or them pampers and all of that. But you know, tell yourself, say, oh, my kids have to be in a Louis Vuitton and nappy all the time. And all of that. So I feel like sometimes I get what I say in terms that it might be expensive, but the level of expense sometimes we feel like Ryan, it is one fly.
No, it's not. You know what 8 fly. The fly is that fly past.
That's what it does. It literally in the name. That is all it's going to do, boss man.
They need to leave me alone. That's what they need to do.
So may I say, when it comes down to when people say, you know, children are expensive, I feel like how they want to raise a child based on different standards how them see on social media, that is expensive, but you don't have to raise your child that way because after things that you're planning on purchasing, they don't need like a baby grows really fast. You don't need like 50 pairs of baby shoes. Like that's so unnecessary.
Right.
So I think it costs money, but in terms of very, very expensive, I feel like it costs money. Yeah. It costs a good amount of money. But the stress that people put on expensiveness, I don't really think that is the case.
Yes, maybe we want to have like 10 pitney, it's going to be very expensive.
Well, yeah. And at the time, you have prepared for that. Me, want to reach a level of financial stability where if it is that I have 20 pitney, I can take care of 20 of them.
I'm ready first at 10 or 20. Why the fly on a leave?
You know you can move, right? Do you know, first of all, that fly is more entitled to that space? Why? Because God made them first. After God made the flies, then God decided that I'm going to make these.
7 or 6 inch first.
Proceed with the conversation.
I want little fly. Buy a fly. Can you believe that? I've never heard that.
When the son don't want to focus on the fly, I'm not focus on the fly.
Opportunity because I know she was going to say something about generations, wiping out Casper's generation because Casper decided to, you know, the situation too bad.
No go so.
Have any kids, and when he dies, the whole family dead with him. So, yeah, Porsche, if you want to address that.
Oh yeah. Well, do y'all want to have kids? Like, is that something that y'all want to do?
Of course.
Yes.
I feel like I want to, but I'm fully comfortable with the fact that it might not happen.
Because of your living situation?
That is correct. No, not just that. Not just that. I mean, there's a whole heap of things that might happen. You might fall in love with a woman that, you know, she's sterile or she might not be able to have kids. You might fall in love with somebody who definitely just don't want to have kids. Or you might just reach a point in your life like say, this is no longer what I want anymore.
I can you know, get on the train of falling in love with someone who's sterile and it just happened to you. You know, if that happens, you know, feel for you. But they're falling in love with a woman who doesn't want to have kids, that's your fault. Because that's one question they ever asked on the first date.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
No, that is not a first date. No, that is not.
No, of course. First of all,
no.
Maybe not on the first date, but in the first like phase of the situation or relationship.
I agree with that.
Yeah, this is something you want to talk about,
like a joke. Like when you go.
No,
they don't have
not even a joke. We're going to be so serious.
Do you want to have babies with me? They don't just slide it in there like a joke. Yeah.
Not even like a joke. And like the most serious thing, like open your face.
They just don't call her back next day.
Wow.
I want to answer your question. Ask your question again.
Alright, so the question is, you just need to give me, or us, or the world, one reason why you believe that people would not want to have kids right now.
Selfishness. They want their life. They don't want to share nothing. They don't want to be responsible for nobody else. They want their money. They want their husband or wife to themselves.
Drastic bad.
They have a career that doesn't. They have a career where they work really, really long hours, and they put their career over anybody, even their spouse. So,
what if your career is doctor that saves, you are committed to saving the lives of others? What if that's your career?
Well, as a doctor, as if you're not working in a emergency room, you make your own schedule most of the time. Like what time the dentist office closed, or what time the doctor's office closed. Like if you go for like a regular checkup, not the emergency room, but like a regular checkup, it don't close like really late.
All right.
So
True.
You can come
my
home.
doctor, I think it closed like 2 p.m. I'm like, wow.
See?
So the point is that no matter what career you have, you should be able to make some time to, you know, Not just having, 'cause, that can happen anytime. The process of making
And
babies
if you're
is
very
the
efficient,
issues.
like maybe 2 minutes, 2 minutes in, the work is
Yeah,
done.
the process is there. But so basically, everybody career should give them some leeway to actually raising a child. Now, in regards to it, well, I just want to address it because we never get to address it. In regards to the whole generation part and generation actually dying, I feel like a lot of people will say that and then tie generation into genetics. And if it is, I am the same genes that I have are in the same set of human beings. Yeah, the gene is going to be inside of you is just going to show that you came from me. But that is not a concern to me in terms of my beliefs and my moral ways. That is more so something that I think is more important to pass on, and I don't think that I have to have a child to pass on that can be passed on to anybody. I mean, how Jesus lived his life and his teachings. We're not directly children from him, but that was passed on, and that is actually really important. Now, in terms of not wanting to have a child and it being selfish, I understand it, and I do see examples of persons like that where I can say, all right, it is a result of selfishness. And other persons have just made the conscious decision because at the end of the day, it's your life and you're free to do what it is that you want with your life. If it is that you have a career that you think that is important, the service that you do is actually important, and it is benefiting a lot of people, and you don't think that it is important to have a child, then so be it. Because Jesus said out here and never breed a single soul. I don't hear anybody barking down Jesus back. I say, oh, Jesus out here never honor you.
Well,
Here's the thing though, most people that you see like that do jobs like police officers or like firefighters, like they be having kids because they're like wholesome people. They're people
So
who
you
are
have,
like into that kind of stuff, like the
all right,
family
cool.
scene.
yeah.
All right, cool. I can understand that. So I think that I think there's a good and a bad reason to want to have kids, and there's also a good and a bad reason to not wanting to have kids, because you still have persons who have kids and don't have kids for the right reason. So the conversation is that as long as you have kids, it's okay, or if you don't have kids, you're some sort of villain to the world because you
Well,
don't want to have kids. I think.
on that
I
note,
don't think that.
a thought popped into my head, and I want to share with you guys personally. And I'm going to say this with my trust.
Yes,
Personally, I
yeah.
do not believe everybody should have kids. Personally,
And
obviously
everybody
it's your
built to
choice.
have kids.
I
Me
agree with that.
can't tell you if you have fitness or don't have fitness, but personally, me believe not everybody need to have kids.
That's true.
One,
I agree.
if I look at the scientific aspect, take all my selfishness outside, the earth is kind of overpopulated, you know what I mean? So if everyone have kids, we are going to a problem. And, adding my personal beliefs in it, there's a lot of things, I can pull from what everybody said. One, a lot of people are not really emotionally stable. A lot of people never grew up in a house where they learn what it means to actually take care of a child properly. There's a lot of things, a lot of people who, like, I know you can get, like, all right, a lot of people do not have the support for it, like, literally, like, even if the husband is willing to try, they don't have the support. Yes, they can get the support from church if you're religious, but, some people don't have that kind of support, and that can lead to kids
Support like what? I'm confused.
support like
Well, supporting any of the aspects, financial,
Yeah,
mental, spiritual,
I'm thinking more
emotional.
mental support. Because
Yeah.
financial support, you are responsible for that. You can get a good job,
Yeah.
work your butt off. But I'm talking about like emotionally, like, and someone to teach them. Because sometimes when raising children, you don't have to know everything as long as you know somebody who knows something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
and a lot of people have principles that they're passing down to children, who are going to pass it down to children, who are going to pass it down to children, and like me, want to say out loud that some people generation need to done, because it can always change down the line. Somebody might come and decide, say, so my family that do this all along, and I want to change it, But sometimes when you look on certain things like the gangs and the them are trained for them son to become the next leader of the gang and all them stuff, but those kind of things kind of discourage me from believing that person is still,
Yeah.
still have kids.
Should have changed. Yeah.
That needs to stop. You know what I mean? But maybe not. Maybe stopping having kids might not be the way. But when we look on them, something I say, yo, why so much woman lay down with that man and make him a breed them? I know say this is the man you them are gonna do. You know what I mean? So Yeah. So maybe not a really good reasons, but maybe later sometimes some people just need to just stop.
Yeah.
You know, like just
I think it's okay. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
you agree with that. I feel like a lot of persons fight out in regards to persons not having kids, in regards to it being selfish. And I'm saying that if 100 people decide that they don't want to have kids, better believe that there is 100 people elsewhere who make up their mind to that them are gonna have kids. So people are world now go. So I don't believe that people are gonna ever. They will just have this time where nobody no born. Kids are born every single day.
Everything.
So if some persons, so if people don't want to have kids, that's freedom business because that now stop now. You get up and I say I don't want to have a child. It's not gonna slow down. Well, it might slow it down, but I think it's gonna stop. People can always be born because people can always want carry on life. I feel like it's you have a part of it where definitely want that for some persons or for a lot of persons. And if you don't want to have a child, that is fine. Do your thing. I ain't gonna judge you.
Yeah.
Do your thing. But I just feel like how for people that get persecuted feel like have these babies
And those
or
people
else.
who don't want like to have children themselves, don't be selfish. Like adopt a child. You don't have to have a child.
Yeah.
Adopt a
If you don't
child.
want, if you just want to skip. If it is like you just want to skip like the whole childhood phase, adopt somebody like
Yeah.
when them turn 13, adopt me at the age of 24.
What I would
So-
love to do that.
Why?
Right.
No.
If you want to skip all of that and just get a big person, that's fine. You're supposed to can't take on a child at any age.
I want you to
Or
adopt
maybe
me
if you
and my
promote
wife.
that.
All of
So
it.
wait.
Yeah, you want somebody adopt me and everybody in the house here.
Honestly, majority of people who have kids in the world shouldn't have had kids.
Look at that.
Not mentally, not
Because
mentally capable of
A lot of us out here didn't have the proper emotional support that we needed, and we were forced to learn along the way. And it was like our parents were forced to learn on the way, so we can't blame them too much. So it's like each generation of people is trying to do like a little bit better than what their parents did for them.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of persons try to do a little bit better, but sometimes end up doing worse because possibly they didn't appreciate what their parents were actually are doing for them. So I think that if it is that you really acknowledge that what a parent did for, like say, like you had a phone growing up, but your parents used to always like take away a phone when you do something wrong. If it is that you can appreciate why that was done, then this is something that you might pass on to your child. If you didn't see the importance in this, then there is a possibility that you are going to not what do you call it? You'll not enforce this with your child, and then this might possibly have some negative side effect because you didn't appreciate what it is. Something like it's all about acknowledging what was done for you, and then if it is that it makes sense and you see the positives, then carry it on. And then if it is that it didn't make sense and you saw that it had a whole lot more negatives than positives, then you basically fix it and then do something different. But I don't think a lot of people do that assessment and then appreciate it. So I think that is the reason. So a lot of people resent their parents for a lot of things.
Yeah, because a lot of time people say no mother beat me for nothing. No, me never do nothing.
Yes,
Never do nothing.
yes, but
And
true.
them just beat
Maybe
me
it's
But
because
the problem lies within the explanation. I'm thinking more of emotionally. Y'all are talking more physically, but emotionally is what matters, because if you're beating your child but you're not telling them why, they're not gonna know exactly what they did wrong.
Exactly.
It's like if you don't have that open line of communication, they're not gonna be close to you or anything. Like it's just gonna be a whole bunch of chaos, and a lot of people don't even know how to communicate because they're like, oh, I'm the parent, it's my way or the highway, and that's it.
Exactly.
Oh, I about no more leak down the highway there. But yeah, I mean I agree with all of that, and even with the beating situation, I might not do that to the extent that I got it, because I know why it is that it was being done. So figure out a way how it is that I can still get my message across to those doing that, and then if it is necessary, I will do it.
oh, so every time
And,
was something.
Yeah.
Go in the corner.
I'm on my foot
Look at the
bottom.
wall.
Anyways.
That
No. I mean, if it's necessary, it's necessary. I mean, it's all about using something or taking away something on the basis that you did something wrong. I mean, it's a sort of punishment. You have
I would use
to
time
learn.
Casper. But it would
Because
be
it
time out.
would possibly work
would
for
be
you
time
if you have
out.
a
No, it's not these American timeout where the kids sit in the corner and think about what they've done, like Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. I'm talking about time out that they get in primary school, where you go in the corner and you get those big heavy books to hold up.
Yo!
That is the kind of time when I would teach my kids. One, because it's making them stronger. It's building.
Yeah,
some
exactly.
muscle.
All
And
it is actually
punishment
necessary.
it is
All
as
of it.
well. Like it's just all beneficial right around.
It
And
is
then
benefits
when them
disguised
finish,
as
them have to
punishment.
go read the 2 books them in that world. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Them kind of
yeah, yeah.
punishment, you know?
And that's
So I mean,
manipulation.
and if it is that, and if it is that, you, and if it is that you appreciate all of that, if you can look back and say, boy, if it is that I didn't go through this, I wouldn't know this. Then maybe this is something that you will pass on, and it will be a good thing. But if it is that you resented it, then chances are you might create some sort of chaos. But I mean, yeah. But pretty much everybody is supposed to know my opinion right about now. Have them, and if you have them, do it right. And if you don't have them, now judge your thing, go about. So that's my tidbit for the day, for the night, for the episode.
Alright.
Anybody else have anything more that I could say in 4 minutes?
Alright, so
I wonder why I said 4 minutes specifically.
my big tad or last couple of stuff would be kind of similar to what Kakko said.
2 cents.
If you don't have them, still need you. If you want to have them, still need you.
That's it.
I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, it's ultimately your decision, but like, I feel like preparation is necessary if you want to have kids.
Preparation
That's
is
all I
key.
have to say. Yep.
Alright. Wish you have anything else to say?
I'm gonna say some people in this world should not have had kids. But if you feel like you're one of those people, please use protection. And all that stuff like that. Don't be putting people in the world when you don't have no foundation. You're not even standing on 2 feet.
Yeah.
Because that's just gonna cause more troublemakers into the world, and we don't need it. So be safe. If you want to have kids, do it. Do the best you can. Read a book on it before you have kids, because books teach you things. Yeah, if you ever get lost, there's a book for every problem you have. I promise. Go find one. Yep, and that's my spiel.
Alright, people. So, everybody in the ear tassel first, or in the ear tassel last. Can't say never hear. So, go out there and do the right thing, people. But that is it for today's episode. See everybody next week. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment, send people like, subscribe, listen to it wherever you listen to your podcast, people. And, that's it. That's why it's out.
Bye.